Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. A speaking, and as promised, I'd like to take a few moments in order to talk about a curious little title set up by Polygame that most people have probably not heard of, and to be honest, I've only ever seen this title in an actual arcade cabinet once in, just shy of 30 years at this point, and the name of this title by IGS is Martial Masters. Martial Masters itself uses the same kind of aspect ratio you'd find in your standard Capcom CPS2 and CPS3 titles, pretty much your Alpha/Zero series as well as your Street Fighter 3 series. And I'd actually have to say, in some cases, the character sprites are actually a bit wider, but generally, they're honestly some of the most fluid animations I can think of, especially for a company which I honestly can't say, aside from this title and maybe one or two others, I can't think of anything this company has done other than Martial Masters. Honestly, most of the cast is kind of forgettable. Most of the characters are in some form or another some sort of martial arts cliche. But in terms of the actual animation there, and even just general color use for a lot of the cast, it's actually a really nice title. Let's take a look at some of the gameplay. Starting off with Red Snake and Tiger here, you'll have a general idea of how the actual character models and rendering themselves actually do share a lot with the aforementioned CBS2 and CBS3 stuff. In terms of the actual color count, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head it's closer to CBS2. The general animation is fairly fluid. I'd honestly put it somewhere between the two, to be honest. Although, I have to say, a really strong suit for this particular title would be how well they handle subtle animation, where if you want a really good example of that, I actually highly recommend you look up the Crane character, who, for her idle animation, basically it's just a lot of fluid hand motions for the most part, and that sort of thing will also be carrying out through a moveset, as well as the Drunken Master character, who effectively, his idle is not so much idle as it's kind of rolling around, and as is implied there, most of his movements kind of involve a drunken rolling motion, where he's just constantly moving in one way or another. Heck, just look at him there. This game is almost like whoever was behind ICS here decided, it's like, hey, you remember from the Street Fighter series that guy named Gen, or however you want to pronounce that? Yeah, we kind of want to make a game of him. A bunch of people that animate kind of fluidly like him the whole time. And that's how they got this title. Pretty much, just to sum it up, the big reason I suggest this particular title to look at is, especially if you're looking for Capcom-style animation work, this is a good supplement just because of how similar it is in nature to what Capcom used to do. And honestly, if you look through the roster, you have a bunch of different character types and pretty much body and scale types, ranging from something odd like Monkey Boy, which is on the smaller end of things, to something that is much more massive like Monk, and everything in between. So honestly, if for no other reason, it's kind of a fun game on its own, that's why you should look at this game. Thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to catch you all soon. Take care.